Art for me has really been therapy. I always wanted to see a black Chucky, you know? So then I just made it. Then afterwards, the message about spiritual healing and black consciousness, that came naturally afterwards. It wasn't the intention that I had making the dolls. In recent years, yeah, I do make work intended to like impress or entertain people just because I'm trying to make money. But I always got into art for me to understand my emotions, my thoughts, and my interactions and experiences with everything around me. I guess my work's intention is kind of to provide like a simulation for people who's not from this community. Welcome to Bed-Stuy. So that's why I do want to tap into all the different senses, whether it be sight, smell, hearing, touch, all of that. I feel like art is such an interactive form that isn't explored as much as it should be. So this is his inside mechanisms that I'm trying to replicate. So that's how the mouth will move. Even the faces, they're all emulating like an actual human being in their sights. I feel like it kind of like makes up for a lacking that people have. They lack the Brooklyn spirit. It's like an introduction to what they're missing out on. When I was younger, I started off with making origami. And once I got into origami, I was interested in sculpture. So I did like paper and cardboard sculptures because that was like one of the only materials that was accessible to me and that was just like around. So I started making paper and cardboard sculptures. After that, I started painting. And then after I started painting, I wanted to do everything else, like sewing, dolls, a lot of different things. I was a sheltered kid. I mostly just stayed in the house and made art most of my life. Because I am such a visual person, the visual change of Bed-Stuy from brownstones and our cracked sidewalks and trash around, that change into more corporate, modern buildings, it kind of erases the history that I grew up on. It does lead to another identity crisis for me because me not knowing where my family originated from, like in Africa or wherever we originally came from, I always just considered Brooklyn my home. We moved out in 2010, and that was because of it was like mold or something in the walls. Nothing of this looks familiar. Wow, this is like a luxury like hotel.
How much is this place going for?
I think she said now is 2.8 million. All right, we can see how it used to look. Is this one? So this is what the house used to look like. All right, but yeah, this was the building that had like the termite issues that they had to break everything down. You can see throughout the years, you see the construction. Since a lot of the houses that I grew up in are like different now because of them being remodeled or like knocked down, I have resorted to preserving a lot of my memories, and that has been through my artwork. And now that Brooklyn is not Brooklyn, I don't really have anywhere to draw back to, except maybe my memories. But yeah, I want to go and see what the inside look like, see if they let us in. So this is Jefferson Street. It looks pretty similar. At least this part of the street looks similar to when I used to live here back in 2011, 2011, I want to say, somewhere around that time. I remember vividly this empty lot here. It looks pretty much the same, still not well kept. And then up here, they have some condos that they built. It's very tall. It looks like there's a lot of apartments in here too. Classy gray. We'd love to see. This is what I'm talking about. The gentrification starts off like at random spots in the block. So this condo looks completely different compared to the rest of the houses in the neighborhood. Because if you look at that condo and then right across the street, we got this laundromat, which is the laundromat I used to go to when I lived right here. Looks exactly the same, like it's not kept up at all. The graffiti that's up there on that building, that's the same too. Like, that's what I'm saying. All of this is old and run down buildings compared to this new and improved building across the street. This looks like nothing I would have ever seen 10 years ago. One down, we got a few more to go. Rocky, how you feel about the gentrification, boy? Like I said before, all of the parks that we have in our neighborhood, all of it is run down, all of the equipment is old, is raggedy, it's not colorful like this, it's all like small, and this looks like an amusement park. Like, I don't know, it's beautiful to me. Then they're gonna say it's not for the adults, only the kids could be here. That's messed up. So this is like the calisthenics area, which is where I be at. You know, do your little push-ups, your sit-ups, whatever you need to do. It's the ab workout, you know what I'm saying? Do the 1, 2, you know what I'm saying? And then it's cool equipment here too. Like, this is stuff that you would actually see in the gym if you went to like a Planet Fitness or something like that. But this is outside and it's all for free. And I never saw this kind of equipment outside for free, just for the public. And it's cool right now for like the residents because we get to enjoy it while we can, but pretty soon, like, we're not gonna be able to enjoy all of this stuff that they're building right now. I'll say like this house was one of the crux of my childhood. Here we are. 546A Monroe. This was the house that I used to live in. Looks completely different. Before it was all white house. It was like one of the only white houses on the block too. And now I guess they remodeled it. They demolished it and built it back up, and now it's this brownstone. Even the gates up front too. We never had gates. This was all like a open front. How do you open these gates? Right. Hello, is this the owners of this house?
Yes, how can I help you?
Hello, my name is Beyonce Armstrong. I used to live at this house 15 years ago, and right now I'm... Oh, hi, thank you. The reason why I'm revisiting, I'm actually going to a bunch of the old houses that I used to live in.
I don't think it's going to work. We may not be back until quite late.
Okay, I understand. Well, thank you so much for answering, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's good to connect with you.
Yeah, what is your name, by the way?
Very good to connect with you.
Yeah.
All the best.
Yes. Thank you. I'll be okay if they had new buildings and like repaired our buildings, because they weren't always up to standard, and you know, they've been here for plenty decades, plenty generations, and they wasn't always safe, I'll say that, or clean. Obviously with the people leaving because of the high rents, I'm seeing less and less Black people in the community, which is kind of taken away from my safe space. here for like a year, but it was an imperative time in my childhood. Is this a Tessie?
At their home.
And they just charged it right there. That's how you know. You know what's funny? When we was on Jefferson, I said, imagine if this was a Tesla, right? And it is. Yeah, I could go in there. Hello. My name is Beyonce, and I'm revisiting my old homes that I used to live in. I was wondering if maybe I can see what the inside looked like, if that's possible. Oh no, and I'm so glad you're an artist. So the man who lives here now, Max, he's also an artist. So This is kind of surreal for me.
Oh wow.
So this is his studio. He graciously let us in. Wow, this is beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
Is the jacuzzi still downstairs?
No.
Oh, that was my favorite part. Oh wow.
Yeah.
And did you guys like fix up the backyard area too?
We did actually fix the backyard. Yeah.
With the fences around?
You're welcome to see it. You want to see it?
Please. Yeah. This is all like so surreal for me.
We had tenants until recently.
Oh, okay.
So.
Okay, the backyard looks pretty similar, except the elevation for that.
The reality show like a backyard, and so it was on Bravo.
Oh, was it like about the renovation?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Crazy. That's crazy.
Which show was it?
Backyard Envy.
I have to work harder and harder to try to connect with my inner child and my past self, and I have to use art as kind of like a picture to like paint a better picture of what it used to be like. So I have some kind of connection with myself, because the neighborhood is not me no more. Like, I'm not the neighborhood no more. Now I feel uncomfortable just walking past these buildings, like they gonna look at me crazy or something like that, which is disheartening. Growing up in Bed-Stuy and it kind of having this reputation being like this rugged, hard place, and I was always like the artsy kid, so I felt like people used to look at me like I was whitewashed or something like that. Whenever I came back from college here, and it's so different now, that like adds to the identity crisis. Like, I wasn't even here to watch it change, and now when I'm coming back, I feel more like a transplant. Like, people are looking at me like, oh, you're really not supposed to be here. Like, you want to know. I feel like it's meant to make us feel like we don't belong, because this doesn't look like Bed-Stuy. This does not look like Brooklyn that I know. Before, I always used my artwork to preserve my memories and my culture, but now my artwork has taken a more literal turn. So I'm actually building like kids, and I'm talking about reconnecting with the past self. I gotta literally build myself up like from scratch. I'm not talking about the train. No, this is my art toy company. It's called Hood Babies. So it's talking about healing your inner child, especially people from the hood. That's making yourself the best version of yourself, physically, mentally, spiritually.
So dope.
Yeah, we're spreading the message. This is Desmond, and this is Coco over here. Coco, yeah. Yes.
Yo! I didn't see that coming. Hold up. What? That's a move? Oh, shit.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, the police kicked me out. They said I was too poppin', and there was too many people around, so they was blocking traffic. So I had to go. See, this is the problem. When you shine too bright, they try to dim your light. But it's all right, because we're here to fight. Ironically, not a lot of my influences are like visual artists, because a lot of my inspirations are non-visual, and a lot of them are rappers who are from Brooklyn. I always use that as inspiration for me to make my work authentic to Brooklyn's essence, but this is like a visual representation of it instead of sonically. I feel like I never saw black artists ever.
We are culture.
Whenever I was in art classes, we only studied like white artists. And I just never thought that it was a place that black people could be. Even when I went to like museums or galleries and stuff like that, I always felt out of place because I felt like, I don't know, that just wasn't a place that we're welcomed. But when I saw Basquiat and I saw how society reacted to him and how much like clout he had, I was like, oh, all right, I could do it then. So he was always like an influence for me growing up. Also, Bed-Stuy is like home to many icons. Biggie, he was always, of course, a huge inspiration for me growing up. Also Jay-Z, Little Kim, of course, Busta Rhymes, right? Yeah, Shirley Chisholm, Chris Rock, Jackie Robinson, so many. So just knowing that all these legends and icons is coming from this same community, it gave me so much inspiration. And it told me that no matter the circumstances you were born into, as long as you have that talent, you have that gift, and you have that hard working mentality, you can go anywhere. Brooklyn really is the best borough. We really got all the greats here.
What do you think about this?
You know, there's a certain spirit here that you're able to feel when you're just walking around. I'm continuing the legacy. Artists, just in general, I feel like we're all observers. Because I was so sheltered, I kind of romanticize everything that I see. Like I said before, good and bad. So even in my paintings, I will show homeless people because that's just the truth. That's authenticity. The neighborhood is filled with culture. There's art everywhere, graffiti and murals everywhere. There's a lot of music and noise everywhere. It's just great people, filled with great personalities. Whenever people come down here, I don't tell them to go visit like landmarks or like popular areas. I'd say like walk down certain streets and just see how people interact with each other. See how people interact outside the barber shops. See the murals around on certain streets. Take the train. I'm communicating authenticity. It's kind of our motto, to be real, to work hard, to be ambitious. I guess that's kind of what I'm communicating. I'm communicating the spirit of Bed-Stuy.
That's my man T.L. Williams from the south side of Chicago. You don't know about this.
See, I know why you mad at me. I get more money than you. Get more money than you.